Right, so now that 2024 is here, the new year is upon us, we need to make some plans for it. We must not make this mistake of going into the new year, going into this new era of our lives without a clear plan, without clear goals. Because goals and ambitions and keeping those fresh in your mind as consistently as you possibly can will help you stay on the right path. Whenever you're going to face hardship of any kind, having those goals and ambitions fresh in your brain will help you come back to them and they will help drive you forward. So why don't we make some plans right now as you're watching this video? I'll help you out, okay? How about if you've already started self-improvement, you do the same self-improvement habits and activities that you did as before, if not more of them, and do them better. And if you're new to this journey of self-improvement, then looking into these habits of journaling, of meditation, of working out, of physical exercise in general, it doesn't necessarily have to be the gym, of reading, of writing, of improving your social life, of improving your diet, of improving your health, bringing a start to your spirituality, and so many more. These things, they will help you so much. But today, and this might sound a bit clickbait, I'm not gonna focus on those self-improvement habits because you can watch any other kind of video and they will tell you the same thing as I would. I'm gonna focus on something else today. I'm gonna focus on developing the skill of self-awareness and free thinking. So you want in 2024 to keep doing the same self-improvement activities as before and do them better and do more of them if you possibly can, if you have the time in the day, but put big accent on developing your self-awareness and free thinking. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. So first, let's start off by actually explaining what self-awareness and free thinking means, because some people might not be aware of these terms, right? Self-awareness means that you are basically aware of your own self. You are aware of your thoughts. You are aware of your impulses. You are aware of your desires. You are aware of the thoughts that come and enter your mind or leave your mind. You are aware of the impulses that you get from your body, that you get from your human nature. And you're aware of the desires that form in your head with these impulses and with these thoughts combined. And free thinking basically means generating your own ideas and thinking by yourself and being authentic in your thinking, being independent in generating your own concepts, your own ideas, not fully relying on other people for your thinking, not taking all of your input from other people, from the social media, from the media in general, from the people that you see on the street, from the people that you have in your life. Free thinking means that you, to some extent, leave out all of these things and you focus on your own thinking, you focus on your own mind. And this might seem a bit harsh because maybe up until this point you have not been used to being aware of your thoughts, of your impulses, of your desires. And so when you are going to notice a thought coming in your mind, you're going to have a certain impulse, you're going to feel a certain desire, you might feel overwhelmed. But understand that this is a beautiful and important skill to develop. So the effort is worth it. And free thinking might be even more exhausting than self-awareness because you actually have to take action on certain things now. Now you actually have to use your brain to make ideas, to make thoughts, to make points that you're going to stand by, to build values into your life. And by free thinking, I don't necessarily mean to cut out every part of external input, because there will still be things that you want to take into consideration, a part of your culture which comes with values that you might want to some extent to integrate into your own life, because these values have been tried with thousands of years and they have remained. And you don't want to limit so much input from the people that you love, from your family, because they might have important things to tell you and they are people that you love. You want to listen and you want to understand their point of view. So don't cut yourself out completely. And now that I've clarified what self-awareness and free thinking are, I'm going to give you my own example which has not happened long ago, maybe like several days ago. I was laying in my bed, I was meditating, and while I was paying attention to my mind, I was breathing in, I was breathing out, and I was focusing on that, and I noticed certain thoughts appearing in my mind as images, as feelings within my body. I was imagining me and this girl being together. I was imagining us doing all kinds of things. And I noticed just how I felt within my body, within my mind, as these thoughts were taking more and more control over my brain. I tried to step away from that. I tried to refocus back on my breath and continue meditating properly. And yet I couldn't. My mind was completely overwhelmed by these set of thoughts, of impulses and desires. I felt such a huge temptation to carry out these thoughts, this fantasy that I built in my own mind from scratch. I was imagining myself being with this this girl who was very attractive, mostly in the physical sense, right? And because our human tendency towards this is to just kind of suddenly veer towards physical instead of actually thinking about the mental, the psychological aspect of things, I felt very drawn towards that fantasy, towards that idea, especially because I knew that if I were to carry that out, if I were to carry out this fantasy that suddenly built up in my head and start messaging this girl, in the end get with her, I would be able to do it because I know this girl and I've seen several signs of what might be happening. I thought to myself, yeah, well, if I heavily exploit those signs and I heavily exploit those things that I have to my advantage, I could get with this girl. And oh my god, look at her, she's attractive. Hell yeah. Those were the thoughts that were suddenly washing over my mind at that point. I felt such a big temptation to just pick up my phone and message her, like right away, and just make it happen because I am confident that if I were to do it, I would have done it. It would have happened. And yet, as I thought more about it, my rational thinking suddenly intervened as well. And another part of this argument came to mind as well. So there was a huge war going on in my mind at that time, between these desires, these impulses to get with this attractive girl and to have all the benefits of whatever that might be. And my rational thinking telling me that that's not the only thing that you have to go for. And think about it. With this girl, especially with this girl, you don't have anything in common. You're both different people. This girl, she's the one that goes out, she parties, she drinks, she smokes. She has friends that I don't think I would really want to be around whatsoever. She has her own tendencies and impulses and desires that I would honestly not relate to whatsoever, apart from the physical human impulses and desires that we all have. And so my rational thinking came to mind, and it was battling all of these thoughts that suddenly washed over me, and there was a full-on war going on for a few 10 minutes, up until I took in a deep breath, and I asked myself, is this really what you want? Is this really what you would like to go for? And then I thought more and more about it, and I forced myself to imagine what would happen after that very quick instant gratification part of that relationship would end. Would you really want to spend time with this girl and be influenced by this girl who drinks, who smokes, who goes out to all kinds of degenerate parties and clubs, who has friends that I don't like, who has impulses, desires, and beliefs about the world that I do not like, that I don't think would be good for me whatsoever? It would actually be detrimental. Would you really just want to sacrifice all of this that you're doing right now, all of the work that you're putting in, just for the physical aspect of things? And the answer was clear. No, I do not want that. Of course not. Although it would have been so damn simple to just say, oh well, everybody needs experience though, so who cares if I just go with this girl and do whatever? Because in the end, it's just kids having fun, right? Bro, I'm almost an adult. She's almost an adult. I cannot go around having fun like this. I mean, goddammit, if I was a 13-year-old, maybe that could be a decent argument. But not even then. I know 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds who are so much more mature than even adults right now. I cannot go around wasting time with stupid stuff like this and destroy my future, destroy my goals and ambitions, because you're basically the average of the 5 people that you spend time with. And so if I end up spending more time around this girl, I'll inevitably spend more time around her friends, around people that she knows, and then I'm going down the slope, then I'm going down the hill. So you do not want that in your life. And so as these thoughts were battling, my rational thinking won. It destroyed these thoughts, and it left me with a sudden feeling of determination, of perseverance. I thought to myself, I'm not going to sacrifice all of these things that I've worked so hard for just for the sake of this instant gratification physical pleasure. And this might sound very dark to think about, and you might judge me as some weird kind of horrible person. Well, you can. I don't care, man. This is human nature. You probably have it as well. You're just too scared to admit it. But I'm here to tell you that because of my self-awareness, because of my good, decent level maybe of free thinking, I managed to convince myself, I managed to show myself the truth about this certain thing and not just wash it with sweet lies and make it so much easier to digest. No, I just showed myself the hard truth about the situation. Do you really want all these consequences just for the sake of some instant physical pleasure? Do you really want that? No, I don't. And so this is one instance where self-awareness and free thinking has literally veered me off a path of destruction, a path of degeneracy, a path of addiction, of vices. So you can imagine just how powerful these skills can be for you as well. And maybe you've gone through a similar issue as well. And now that I've bantered on for minutes about my experience about this, because who doesn't like talking about themselves, I'm gonna show you how you can actually develop your self-awareness and free thinking. You develop these skills through practice, right? You develop these skills through certain habits, through certain activities that you do throughout your days, for months, maybe for years to come. And the most meaningful that I can think about are meditation, journaling, reading thoughtful books, and the most important, I believe the most important, is heavily limiting input from external sources, from external information sources. That I believe might be the most meaningful. With all of these habits that I previously mentioned, meditation, journaling, reading thoughtful books, going out in nature, spending time with good family that you love, having important, meaningful conversations, all of these things are great. Do them as much as you possibly can. They're amazing. They've helped me so much in these past months, in this past year and a half. Absolutely go for them. But I want to put great accent on the last one. Input from external information sources. So basically that is a much longer way of saying stop spending too much time on social media, watching television, watching stupid shows and movies, on heavily limiting being around stupid people in your life who are genuinely just bad for you. Reading stupid books, because there are stupid books as well out there. Not every single book is amazing. Watching stupid self-improvement videos, because there are certain self-improvement videos out there that are absolutely just made for clickbait. They're made just to get some quick views, just to get you to invoke some quick dopamine within your system. That's it. So you have to cut out those videos. There are so many things that I can think about, and there's probably more in your life that you know of that I couldn't possibly just see through. So I want you to think about those things. I want you to make this hard decision of heavily limiting, if not completely getting rid of some of these external information sources. So for example, I don't have TikTok, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Snapchat, I don't have Be Real. Whatever else people have nowadays, I don't have any of that. I have YouTube where I post my videos and I occasionally watch like self-improvement podcasts from Andrew Huberman, from Chris Williamson, whatever. And I have WhatsApp where I speak to my family. It's like the way that I message my family, and it's the way that I message my classmates. That's it. I heavily limited my input from external sources. I don't watch television. I don't watch the news. Sometimes I end up going around the living room and I see my dad watching the news and I just pass by. I look at the screen, 5 people killed today. An entire house filled with people burned to the ground. War in Ukraine. War in Palestine. I'm not watching that, bro. I'm not letting my full mental health be ruined by all of these things. So I'm not watching any shows or TV either, because you can be heavily influenced by the sudden points and ideas made in movies by some certain biased people. So I'm not watching any of that either. I have heavily limited my input from these self-improvement videos. Now I only watch longer term podcasts, preferably unedited, just kind of raw in itself, because this is the best way to learn. But when you're watching these short, super dense pieces of content, it is a horrible way to go about it, man. So heavily limit the input that you get from these external sources. Value your time. I want to leave you off with something very interesting that I've heard from one of these people that I learned from. Your mind is made up of what you put in your eyes and in your ears, just how your body is made up of what you put in your mouth. That's a very interesting way to think about it, isn't it? I'm gonna leave you off by telling you that having self-awareness and free thinking will only impact your life in a positive way. Sometimes you might feel like things are quite negative. For example, my experience that I had about this girl, about whatever was going on. For sure, in the short term, it kind of made my mental health worse. But now that I'm thinking back on it, bro, I've saved years of my life that I would have spent ruined because of that small decision that I made on the moment, dictated by my emotions, by some impulses, by some desires. I managed to control myself by being aware of what was actually going on in my mind, and by making my own authentic decision through free thinking. Through a certain level of free thinking, because I'm not like a free thinker completely, of course not. Most of us are not, but we can strive to be. So, to recap what I've previously said in this entire video, do your self-improvement habits just as you have done before if you're already on self-improvement. If not, start self-improvement, do the self-improvement habits that everybody speaks about. Journaling, meditation, exercise, reading, spending time in nature, spending time with your family, socializing, yada yada yada, all of those things. Do them, for sure. Get good at them. Get very good at them. But keep in mind and put an important accent on your self-awareness, on your free thinking. Because these are resources within our minds, I'd like to think of them as, that are becoming more and more restricted by the technology that is advancing, by all of these ways that you can have your attention captured instantly, by how you can have your mind controlled, by these people who are very smart and they're using your human nature to their advantage. So yeah, man, if you have gained any value from this video, which I really hope that you have, then why not subscribe to this channel? It'll help me make more videos, and it'll help you stay in touch with the videos that I'm making. You can like this video, you can share this video with other people who you think will gain some value from this as well. And if you want to join my self-improvement Discord server where you can talk to other young men on self-improvement, or even me sometimes, then you can join that by clicking the link in the description of this video. It's a Discord link. And if you want to go on a free self-improvement one-to-one coaching call with me, where we can talk about self-improvement in general, about your self-improvement journey, mine, about tips and advice that I could give you that I've learned along the way, all you have to do is you have to click the link in the description, which is a Calendly link, and it will send you to my page. We can schedule a call and we'll see each other then. So yeah, man. I really hope that this video has been of value to you, man. And good luck in 2024. See you, man.